What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day out there. Guys, we're going to do a little work to the Team Corelli Asuga XLR. Guys, this thing has just been awesome. Been loving this car. Been having a ton of fun with it. And the durability of this thing has just been awesome. But when I got home from the last bash, I did realize something. I broke the front chassis brace on this thing. I haven't bent the center one on this one yet, but M2C Racing has put together some goodies, and we're going to get fitted up on here tonight. They're put out some prototypes here of carbon fiber front and rear shock towers. They just look awesome, nice and thick. Also, they have a carbon fiber center brace here that we're going to get fitted up on this thing. Now, to go with that, I ordered up some Team Corelli 7075 front and rear chassis braces on here. So we're going to get these fitted on there, make this thing a little stronger, a little lighter, and add a little bling to it. Also, guys, on my last time I had this car out, I was just ripping around the yard. I changed the gearing on it. I put a 17-tooth pinion on this thing, and this thing absolutely flies. Now, obviously, I was a little concerned with temperatures with running a 17-tooth on here, but honestly, the temps on this thing did not run too bad at all. I was ripping around pretty heavy out there in the concrete and the grass for about 12-15 minutes, and the motors got warm, don't get me wrong, but it was nothing to be alarmed about. So we're going to continue this gearing on here, and in the next bash, we'll see what the temps are like, you know, running it maybe in the dirt and jumping it and see how she runs. But she flies with the 17-tooth on there. And but I am going to have to tighten up the center diff fluid a little bit because I've noticed it is a little loose, especially with the higher speeds. But guys, we're going to get some M2C bling on here and some little heavier duty Team Corelli parts and make this thing a little stronger, a little lighter, a little more awesome. So stay tuned, everybody. Now, don't yell at me. I know we're kind of doing another shop video here, and I apologize. We're not out for a bash, but I'm only home for like 36 hours, guys, and I got to go back out. I got to go out to Los Angeles for a week. But when I get back from that, we're actually going to have some time to go out and have some fun bashes, and that's the plan, is to take this thing out and give it a good beating and see how the new parts hold up and how everything works. But let's go ahead and get this stuff fit up. I'm not going to bore you with every single step. We'll kind of get pieces installed, and I'll show you along the way what it looks like and what the fitment's like. I'm going to first go ahead and tear out the center braces on here, the front and rear. I'm basically going to try and pull all this out in one big piece, get that changed out first, and then we'll work on the shock towers. All right, well, I'm getting there. I got all the stuff out of here, all the front and rear chassis braces. And as you can see here in the front is where it sheared off, if the camera would focus, but it snapped the whole end off of there. So that's why we're changing this thing out. They got these little tie braces at the bottom. It is a little interesting to get out. You got to basically either disconnect your servo or cut the bottom piece of this old brace to get it out of there. I opted for cutting the piece of plastic out because I'm changing it anyway because I wasn't tearing my receiver box apart. Call me lazy if you want, but that's the route I went for tonight. Got the wing pulled off of here. The rear shock tower is most of the way off. Had to pull a lot of stuff apart to get this whole chassis brace piece out of the center, but we're ready to start fitting up the new stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting that piece back together and getting it in one piece and getting it in the car now. Okay, well, I'm getting there. I got the pieces tied together with the aluminum bracket that goes across the bottom that ties the front and rear together. I'm getting the screws put in here, got the screw put in back here, and I'm going to go ahead and get the screws put in the bottom of the chassis, and then I'll get that all tied together. And then I can start working on getting the carbon fiber piece here from M2C Racing tied into this. I was trying to do it all at once, but I'm not sure if I'm able to do it because the way that this has to move forward and back in order to get this in there, I'm not sure if I can get this on there. But now I'm realizing that if I don't do it ahead of time, I'm going to have to pull my motor, I think, to get the screws in there. So we're going to see which way this is going to work best. Okay, well, we got success. Managed to put it all in one piece, so you can completely bolt all of this together and slide it in one piece. If you haven't tried doing it already, now you know. I just learned. Also, this chassis brace in the center, the aluminum and the carbon fiber one side is slightly shorter than the other, so make sure you test fit it before bolting everything in. Don't ask how I know that, but yes, this does need to go a certain direction. This then needs to be facing back. It looks like this side is slightly shorter on the back side, because if not, this part does not lock into the center and sit centered in those holes. So just a little tip if you're doing it for the first time and you can not make the same mistake I just did. Okay, we got the center brace all tied in again. We got the rear body post mounted to the brace and in here, but I didn't put the screws in here yet, obviously, because the wing ties into that. So we're gonna get the rear shock tower changed out first. So we can basically get everything buttoned all back together and then just finish up on the front shock tower. Guys, so far everything's fitting up great. One weird thing, and I don't know if I lost a screw, is the screw that goes here through the body post, through the aluminum, and into the nut over there. Wasn't long enough after I redid this. Or I lost a screw, but these are the two I had, and they are just like a hair too long. So my bet is I dropped it, but anyway, it's back together. I knew the minute that I found another screw to replace the one I thought I lost, it would turn up, and of course it did. Out with the old and in with the new. Man, these things just look beautiful. Do some really great carbon fiber work, guys. Just absolutely spot on. All right, boys and girls, we got the rear shock tower mounted up. Fitment was spot on. Everything bolted up great. Looks awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get the rear wing mounted up on here now, get the back end finished up, and then we will get the front taken care of. All righty, well, we got the wing mounted up on here, and the wing mount has 3 screws on either side. Now, the stock shock tower only has 2 holes. Now, you can obviously either adjust the wing, or with the carbon fiber shock towers, you can actually put 6 screws to help hold your wing on there. Not sure if they originally planned that, or it was just for adjustability, but it's pretty cool, and there's 2 extra screws holding the wing on now. So this thing was already pretty tough. The wing, I was impressed with the durability of this thing, with landing on it the way I have, but now you got a couple more screws holding together. But the back is all back together again. Finished with that part. Now we're going to go ahead and tear off the front shock tower, get the new carbon fiber one mounted up on here, and we're just about going to finish this video out. Quick little side note, when you do put the aluminum chassis braces on this in place of the plastic, there are a couple screws you will not use anymore. There's 2 in the back and 1 in the front, so you're not missing anything. That's the way it is. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull the front off here. There's a couple screws, obviously, and your 2 big bolts that hold your upper shock towers on. Now, don't forget to loosen up these little Allens, and these little grub screw, basically, because those help hold the pins in there. So don't try just unscrewing these first. Make sure those are wound out. All right, we got the front all mounted up on here. She looks awesome. Just finishing tightening up my grub screws here to keep the main bolts there from falling out or turning themselves back out. Even though they do fit pretty snug in the plastic, but these just help assure that they don't come out anymore. And also, don't forget your little plastic shims whenever you're taking it apart, that they don't fall out, because that's what helps tighten up any of your play up top here if it's the first time you're tearing any of these apart. But guys, M2C Racing shock towers fit up beautifully on here. We added a little aluminum for some strength in the center, added some carbon fiber out here on the front and rear for some weight reduction. So I think we kind of balanced that out pretty well. What do you think? Looks awesome. Can't wait to take this thing out for its next bash. Little side note, and I'm sure one of you out there caught this. Yes, I have my screws on backwards. The screws are supposed to be on this side, and the bolts are supposed to be on the outside. So I got to go ahead and flip those around real quick. All right, guys. Well, we got the screws on the proper side this time, and the nuts on the proper side. But guys, the Asuga XLR is all fixed up and ready to roll again. We got the new aluminum front and rear chassis braces in here, the center brace from M2C Racing, the carbon fiber, and the front and rear shock towers. And she's ready to roll again. Everything else has been holding up great on this thing. The chassis has been holding up perfect on this thing, even on the last bashes. And also their A-arms, I've been super impressed with. They've been holding up really well. The Asuga right out of the box, like I said, is just, it's really a great car right out of the box. Honestly, the biggest thing you need for the Asuga or the Spark out of the box, and if you don't want to do anything else, but if there's one thing you should do, is definitely locking wheel nuts. The stock nuts like to spin themselves off, so pick yourself up a set of locking wheel nuts from M2C Racing, and won't have your wheels go flying. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the little video, but that's going to do it for tonight. So until next time, y'all be safe, be careful out there, peace out, everybody.